So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the channel. In this video, I'm going to be going through the 4 pillars to automating your e-commerce social media marketing agency. Now in this video, we're going to go through some beginner stuff that you should be doing no matter what you're at. And then we're going to move on to some more advanced stuff, which you should really only be focusing on and implementing into your agency once you're at around the 6-figure mark and above. And so as always, guys, just before we jump into the video, make sure you go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm posting every other day on the channel, and also it massively helps out with the YouTube algorithm. So the first pillar that you must automate as an agency owner is your onboarding process. So the onboarding process basically refers to the process of, you signing a client and then getting them basically indoctrinated into your ecosystem, meaning, you getting access to their ads manager, you getting them enrolled into your communication system, you getting access to all of their content, you getting access to their backend stuff like their email marketing software, their funnel building software, their Shopify, all this different type of stuff you have to make sure you've got access to so that you can deliver the best results for them. Now, the process of you getting access to that stuff, the process of you getting them enrolled into your, communication system, etc., that process needs to be automated. Now, I'm sure that probably raises the question of how do you go about automating it? Well, the best way to do it is first things first in video format. Second thing is to actually just build a very simple funnel. Now, that funnel doesn't have to actually physically be a, funnel within ClickFunnels, for example. If you're kind of strapped for money, strapped for cash, and you really want to try and be as lean as possible in terms of your monthly outgoings, you can actually just do it via YouTube unlisted playlist. You can put, a couple videos in specific order, and they just kind of go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one. And that's a really good way to do it. And it's completely for free. Also, you can even do it if you're very, very just first starting out, you don't have the right camera equipment. Not that you need anything too special in terms of, specific camera stuff, certain mics and all that type of stuff. But if you just don't feel comfortable on camera, whatever the case may be, you can actually also just do it in a simple Google form. Just get them to go through a Google form, ask the certain types of questions like, providing a Google Drive, for example, full of their content, their creators and whatnot, and just get them to go through a very simple Google form. That's completely for free. I've actually got videos on this channel, a multitude of videos on this channel for that matter, going through how to onboard clients, free ways and paid version ways. So I highly recommend that you go ahead and watch those videos because that will really help you. But as I mentioned, the main point to take away from this video is that the first thing you should ever do in terms of automating your agency is automating the onboarding process. Now, the second pillar of automation is the service delivery side of things. Now, by automating the service delivery side of things, not only is it going to make your job easier as an agency owner because it frees up time for you to focus on high level stuff like building funnels, like client acquisition, like making sure the service delivery is the best it can possibly be, but it also enables your service delivery to be the best it possibly can be, because by automating service delivery, that basically means that you bring an outside expert in media buying for e-commerce, you bring them on board to your team, you enroll them as a team member, and they then focus on delivering the results for your clients. Now, the reason it's going to actually help you get better at delivering results for clients is because first things first, they're an expert. Second thing, that's their sole job. Because look, you as the agency owner, that's not your sole job. You can sign on a client. If you then decide that you're going to do the service delivery for that specific client, that's not your only job. You've still got to manage the client. You've still got to do client acquisition. You've still got to do sales. You've still got to do lead generation. You've still got to do all these other things on automating your onboarding process. You got to do all these other things. And so you just won't be able to dedicate an adequate amount of time, all the time it takes to each individual client, the time it takes to get them the best results. And so you got to bring a team member on board, which essentially automates that side of the business for you as the agency owner. But it also ensures that your clients are genuinely getting the best service and the best results possible because you've got a dedicated team member whose only job is to focus on those client ad accounts and actually getting them the best results possible. And so, as I mentioned, it's not only going to make your business operations a lot easier as an agency owner, but it's also actually going to be a value of service to your clients because it's going to enable them to get the best results possible. So really those first 2 points of automating your agency is slightly more on the beginner side. This is the stuff that you should be doing when you're just starting out. If you're just starting out, you've got no clients, I still recommend you look at bringing a media buyer on board. I still recommend that you get your onboarding process automated because it's going to enable you to have a very streamlined process for when you do sign on clients. These final 2 points I'm going to be talking about is going to be a lot more advanced. I do not recommend anybody who's under under 6 figures to be implementing on these things. And I'm going to talk through the reasons why. And actually the fourth pillar that I'm going to be speaking about should only be implemented once you're at multiple 6 figures, which is $16,000 per month. But before we get to that pillar, let's have a look at the third pillar, which is automating outreach. So this is now where we start to look at automating client acquisition. And so first things first, you want to look at the outreach sector. So the reason I say that you only want to be implementing this at 6 figures is because by that point you would have gotten to 6 figures because you would have built a proof of concept, meaning you would have built a system and a process that routinely churns out clients. Whether you send 100 emails and get a client, or 200 and get 2 clients, whatever it is, or get 1 client at 200 emails sent, whatever it is, you would have built a proof of concept because that's how you're at 6 figures right now. And so that proof of concept you can now automate. Now that you've built it, you know it works, you know that you can send X amount of emails and get X amount of clients, you know it works, okay? And so you want to now go ahead and automate that to then again alleviate some stress from you, alleviate some workload off of you onto somebody else, which again enables you to automate that process. Now, how do you go about doing that? Well, you got to bring on something called appointment setters. Now, these guys come onto your team and their sole job is to conduct lead generation and outreach. Now, the form of outreach is going to differ because the proof of concept that you have that got you to 6 figures is going to differ from yourself to somebody else. Whatever the proof of concept, however you got to 6 figures, that process, you want to basically break that down into training format, and that training format ought to be in videos of you basically walking through your process of client acquisition that has the proof of concept, okay? So that's what you got to do. And then what you want to do is basically find somebody, and there's a myriad of ways to do this. And again, I've got a whole heap of videos on this channel talking about how to do this, but you then want to look and find somebody who can come onto your team as a team member. You want to get them to go through that training, and then their sole job is, as I mentioned, appointment setting, finding people to reach out to, which is lead generation, and then reaching out to them via your proof of concept outreach method. And then from there, you know, you're still going to be getting the same results, or maybe slightly lower, but you're still going to be getting good results from outreach, but now you're not doing it. So you've automated that sector. The fourth and final pillar for you to automate is your inbound lead client acquisition funnel. Now, as I mentioned before, this has to only be done and implemented on once you're at multiple 6 figures, which is $16,000 per month. And the reason being is because now you're going to be paying to get clients. And also you want to be making sure that you've got a proof of concept agency wide, business wide. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can bring clients on board. Yes, you can sell clients routinely. And also you've got a proof of concept in the service delivery aspect of your agency. Okay, so you know that every single client you bring on that's qualified, that meets these certain points and whatnot, you know that you can generate them results because of this strategy that you routinely implement. Now, you'll only be able to build a proof of concept that powerful once you reach around the 16,000 per month mark or the multiple 6-figure mark. Now, as I mentioned, by that point, you should already have your outreach sector automated because you do that at 6 figures. And so, as I said, you're going to still be getting a good amount of leads coming through. And so you would have also, by that point, really honed in on your sales process, which again, you need to build a proof of concept for. And then, as I say, once you get to multiple 6 figures via the previous methods that we have spoken about, you now can start to pay to get clients on board. But you know, you may be thinking, why would I start paying for clients when I can get clients for free or I can get clients organically? Well, the reason being is because you can seriously scale up. If you know that you pay $1,000 to sign on a client, well, you just pay 10,000 and you know you're going to get 10 clients, or you pay 20,000, you know you're going to get 20 clients. And so that's why you want to figure out how to, you know, dial in paid traffic once you get to that certain point, because scale is basically at that point unlimited, right? There's no limit to your scale, because you know every time you spend 1,000, you're going to get a client. So spend 100,000, 100 clients. That's the idea behind paid traffic. And so that's what you want to eventually get to once you've gone through these processes. There's no point jumping now, you know, if you're at 0 per month, there's no point jumping to running paid traffic for yourself, because you've got no proof of concept, you've got no proven strategies and systems in place in your agency. And you also kind of have no idea what you're doing in terms of the paid ads side of things, because you've never ran any paid ads for your clients. And as I say, that kind of also stems across to service delivery. You don't know if you can actually generate these clients good results. And so, yeah, they, you know, you may pay $1,000 and they may pay you $4,000 a month. But here's the problem with that. Okay, so if you pay $1,000 a month, you're spending $1,000 a month on ads, and you know that roughly on average you're paying $1,000 per client. Well, you may get a client in the first month, but then, you know, if you've not got a proof of concept for your service delivery side of things, then they're going to drop off after a month. They're not going to stay with you, no matter whether you've got a contract in place or not. If you're not getting results, they're not going to continue paying you. And so then you paying for paid traffic, you're actually going to be in debt. You're going to be losing money because no clients are staying with you. The money in social media marketing, the money with an e-com agency, and really any agency, but we only speak e-com on this channel because it is the best niche. The money is made in the back end. The money is made in the retention of clients. It's not made in that first upfront 4K retainer. It's made over you making 4K from that one client every single month for like 12 months, right? That's almost 50,000 a year from that one client. If you now go and get 10 of those clients, that's where the money's made. It's not made in you just making it once. And so if you've got no client retention rate, meaning, and bear in mind, client retention rate is solely tied to service delivery. Mainly, actually, I'd probably say 85% is service delivery. The rest is kind of how you operate as an agency. But as I say, if you've got no retention rate, you've got a 1 month retention rate, you're going to be losing money very quickly. And so it's vital that you don't skip the process, that you go through the process. You know, 0 to 6 figures, 8,000 a month, you're doing outreach yourself. 8,000 a month to 16,000 a month, you automate that via bringing a team member on board and really an entire team to focus on that side of things. 16,000 to 7 figures, which is 80,000 a month, then you can start focusing on paid traffic and scaling and all that type of stuff. So I know this video is a little bit all over the place, but really guys, those are the 4 main pillars that you want to automate in your agency eventually over the course of your agency lifetime. I have now got all these sectors automated, all of these pillars automated, but that's only because I'm at high multiple 6 figures with my agency. I started off going through these stages, and it was because I went through those stages in the correct order that enabled me to now be at multiple or high multiple 6 figures with my e-com agency. And so guys, if you're interested in actually learning step by step how I signed my very first 7 e-commerce clients for my agency, go ahead and click the second link, I believe it is, in the description. The first link actually takes you to the Quantum Leap e-com agency program. The second link takes you to a 60-minute free training that walks you through step by step exactly how I signed on my first 7 e-commerce clients for my agency with no case studies, no previous experience. I walked you through exactly how I did that. And with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button as always and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video.